the Sports Renegades podcast on SportstownChicago.com.
Welcome back to the Sports Renegades, SportstownChicago.com. And we just got finished talking about the very disappointing news about Jackie Robinson-West. And we just checked, and the Bulls are indeed beating the Cleveland Cavaliers now.
By 5. Although I don't know if mine updated. Yours is probably a little bit of a faster game tracker than mine. I have 27-20 with 2 minutes left.
What app do you use?
I just use the Sports Center app.
No, that's a horrible one. I hate that.
I also have an iPhone 4, and everything on my phone is really slow because of that.
Use the Yahoo Sportacular app. That's the one I use. One's
I'm not sure
great.
That's available on iPhones.
I'm pretty sure it is. If it is, download. That's like my favorite app to use for checking scores, because you can also just, when you see the player there, you can click on the player to see their stats for the day and the season.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, the Bulls are winning. Pau Gasol's already got 12 points in the first quarter. Derrick Rose is shooting 4 out of 5 today.
That's good.
Yeah, that'll help improve his 41% shooting percentage.
Maybe he'll stop shooting
threes.
All these stupid threes.
I read somewhere that...
Well, that's the thing. His threes aren't even open. Like, he's shooting guarded threes. Like, I don't understand what his issue is.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks has taken a lot of dumb threes, too. Like, sometimes I see him taking a three, like, 10 feet behind the line.
That's the thing. He shoots a three when they need points quickly, and a lot of times he can do really good, but also a lot of times he misses as well.
There was the game against the Magic. I was at a bowling alley with a couple friends, and we were watching the end of the Orlando game.
Those got lucky there, that's for sure.
Yeah. I remember they needed to score quick. They were down by like 5. Brooks pulls up. He's guarded like 10 feet behind the three-point line, takes a shot, misses badly. And I'm just thinking, why are you pulling up so far behind the line and while you're guarded? So, of course, he missed. And then, of course, the Bulls got lucky that Jimmy Butler was called on when he was fouled, that it was called a clear path, got the 2 free throws, and then Rose shot a wide-open 3 when they got the ball back.
Aren't they nice?
Yeah, I saw Rose is shooting 29% for threes. I mean, granted, I know some of his threes are like half quarters to like beat the buzzer sometimes, except that is unacceptable. When you're shooting them when you're shooting the buzzer beaters all the time, that's when you should be around 32, 33, 34%, not 29.7.
Right.
And you were complaining about your 3-point percentage for your fantasy basketball team.
He's a big reason why. The main reason why is Danny Green has stopped being a good basketball player. So I'm trying to see what I can do with him. He's not getting any rebounds or any assists. He's usually pretty good at getting assists, and he hasn't gotten any assists.
And he's been missing a lot of shots.
He's been consistent. The last couple of weeks, he's been going like 1 for 8 from the 3-point line. It's just something unbelievable.
I remember you drafted him just to give you a little bit of an edge in the percentages.
And I really like him. He's been one of my favorite underrated guys in the NBA for a while, and yeah, he's not doing well at all. Also, Joakim Noah has stopped scoring as well.
So it's not like he's been doing that at all this year due to his injuries.
Right. Early in the season, he was doing good things with where he'd get like 10 points, 10 rebounds. But now he's
getting like a lot of 2 points.
He's getting a lot of rebounds, but he's getting like 4 points.
Yeah, like the game he had 1 point and 19 rebounds.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know, but I did pick up a lot of guys to fill in the slack. Enes Kanter on Utah has been really good this year. I picked him up.
Is that the guy that's averaging like 15 points and 8 rebounds?
Yeah, he's doing really good for he's on the Jazz. And then Gorgui Dieng on Minnesota.
Gorgui Dieng.
Yeah, he's playing.
He had a bad game yesterday. 2 points and 2 rebounds.
I didn't start him yesterday, which ended up being a good thing. Also, the 2 underrated things, I think this is going to get my team to play at least a little bit of a better at least play more consistently down the stretch is going to be the additions of Giannis Antetokounmpo from Milwaukee and Chris Middleton from Milwaukee.
Freeman dropped the guy with the name.
Yeah, I picked him off of waivers. So he's doing really good. So
he shoots terrible from threes too. He shoots like 20% for threes, and he shoots them.
Yeah. Oh well, I think those 2 additions are going to help me a little bit. So I got those guys. Oladipo hasn't been very good all season. I'm hoping he can end pretty well because I'm not going to drop him.
Yeah, that was a bad third-round pick.
Thaddeus Young is playing good now. He wasn't playing good earlier in the year, so I'm happy about that. He's on Minnesota. And I still have Tim Duncan, who's doing good still. David West has had an underrated year for Indiana. I have him on my team.
Guess that's what happens when you start out the season injured and your team is horrible.
Right. So, I'm fighting on to that. I'm holding on to that last spot for the playoffs right now. Obviously, I'm pretty confident I'll get into the playoffs, but I don't know where I'll fall. I might have to be playing Ashish or
Freeman,
whoever ends up with that number 1 seed. Or for that number, well, actually, there would be a bye the first round, so I'd actually be playing the number 3 seed, which I think is you right now. Possibly.
No, there's no way my team's that good.
You're either 3rd or 4th in the league, I know that.
Really?
I think so.
I thought I checked the standings, and I was wondering if I was even in the playoff spot.
Well, you're ahead of me, so you are in the playoffs.
Oh, good.
Because I'm the last spot in the playoffs. I think number 1 is Ashish.
How many wins does your team have?
The number 2 seed would be the leader in the other division, so I think my friend Mark or my brother Brett would have the number 2 seed.
So then Freeman would be number 1.
Freeman would be 3 overall, and then either you or the 2nd seed in my division would be 4th or 5th. So you're you're either 4th or 5th right now.
Not bad. Do you know how many wins your team has, or in category wins?
My overall record, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, just for the wins. I think I have 96.
Yeah, I only have like 78 or something. I'm like 78, 90, and 16 or something.
Then I know I'll make the playoffs for sure because I'm in the mid-90s.
Well, and I'm pretty far ahead of whoever is 7th. So, and 7th place doesn't make the playoffs. So, I'm pretty sure I'll be in the playoffs.
Against who, you don't know.
Nope.
Welcome back to the Sports Renegades here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Yes, we got our final segment coming up here.
We've been talking about a lot of things. Obviously, that all includes, we were just talking about the Bulls, and they've been playing better since Mike Dunleavy came back.
Who would have thought? He's the big force.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. How were they struggling for the past couple months because Mike Dunleavy was out?
I know, it's very strange, but they've definitely been playing pretty well now that Mike Dunleavy's back. So, hopefully he can stay healthy. And, well, I mean, he does give them, an extra 12 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, he hits shots.
Nights. Yeah.
He's a good shooter.
Yeah, he doesn't miss. He hits some good clutch threes, too. So hopefully that'll get the ball rolling and they'll start to go on a big winning streak.
Right, and I don't think anyone's going to ever forget that performance he had against Washington in the playoffs when he was like 8 of 11 for threes.
Right, yes, I remember that.
And, I mean, he is 38 or 39, and I mean, he's still giving him good minutes, shooting the ball well. And it's kind of too bad, though, that now he's going to have to start splitting the minutes with Tony because Tony Snell's been playing out of his mind recently, too.
Yes, he has. I really like the player Tony Snell's become. He had, I think, 20. I think it was definitely a career high. He had like 22 points against Sacramento.
Yeah, and he was like 8 of 10 for the field and 4 or
5 from threes or something.
There was like 3 games in a row that he was like 3 for 3 for threes.
Yeah, he's definitely being really good. And although since Tony Snell's playing good, that means Doug McDermott isn't really playing at all.
I heard his dad is questioning Bulls management why they traded 2 draft picks to get him, and now they're not playing him.
That's because of Tibbs.
Yeah, see that's
Tibbs. For some reason, he doesn't either like him or he doesn't like the way that he fits into the games. I mean, the only time he plays is the last 2 minutes of the game when it's a blowout.
Yeah, I mean that's bad when it's being made public that a player's dad is asking why he's not playing. And the thing is, the Bulls traded up to get him,
right? And
they're not playing him. That's just the thing I just hate about Tibbs and with rookies is they're only under contract for 4 years at that bargain,
right?
And that's a year wasted of them not playing. That's a year off of that, like that's an entire season that they won't be playing for that bargain. And I mean, I don't get why McDermott isn't playing. Like he would help stretch the floor Like, even when Dunleavy was out, he wasn't playing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he was playing pretty well, and it's just, now Tony Snell's playing real well, which I like Tony Snell. And Tony Snell, at this point, may be a better player than Doug McDermott, but you still should be playing the player that you traded up for. And, you should still be able to have him fit in somewhere where he can play, 15, 20 minutes a game.
Right, and the thing is, it seems like the way Thibodeau handles these rookies makes it hard with player relations or player relationships. Because, like, when you're not playing, why would they want to sign a contract extension with you?
Right. Well, that's I think sort of the whole is the relationship, sort of how bad is the relationship between Tibbs and Gar Forman and John Paxson. Not playing Doug McDermott is sort of like the main reason why they've been getting into these little so-called feuds, and why a lot of people, I'm not one of those people, but a lot of people think, if the Bulls don't win the championship this year, Tom Thibodeau's going to be gone. I just don't see how that's possible, because there's no coaches out there who are, a better fit than Tom Thibodeau. But
George Karl's off the board now. And one thing is, it's just like, do you think now, but since this is the second consecutive coach that Bulls management has been having a feud with, do you think it's the coach or the management?
In this case, it's more of the coach not doing what the management necessarily wants as far as managing minutes and playing certain players. Back with the Vinny Del Negro thing, that was all Vinny Del Negro, I think.
Because
he's just not a good coach.
It shouldn't happen twice with two straight coaches that your management is having a feud with your head coach.
Right. Although, I think the management's done a tremendous job in the draft. Especially the last, 3 or 4 drafts.
Yeah, they're good at getting good late-round picks, except that's just not how you build a team.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's not how you win a championship. I know that. But
at least I hope they don't think that.
No, but it just a lot of this also falls on Derrick Rose not playing well. Where you invested so much time and money into him, and now he's finally back from his injuries. He's been, he hasn't been missing, any games for the last few months, and he's still not playing well. He's not playing a championship caliber basketball.
Right.
Powell is, Jimmy Butler is, but Derrick Rose is not.
One interesting to look at the Derrick Rose situation is he missed really 2 entire seasons with a devastating injuries.
Right, he missed 2012, 2013, and he missed 2013, 2014.
Would you expect him to be rusty this entire season?
It looks like that might be what's going to happen. I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of the season. I would have thought by now he would have been, playing really well, being one of the best players in the league and the best player on the Bulls, certainly. But that hasn't happened. So yes, I do think he's going to be rusty all season.
Well, I was wondering if that was going to be the case, because if you think about when starting pitchers or even relief pitchers in baseball, when they come back from Tommy John surgery, it takes them a whole year to rehab. Then an entire season to get back into the swing of things.
Right,
usually they play, average or very poorly in their first season back. Like when Adam Wainwright had Tommy John surgery, that next year he had like an ERA around 4. The year after, he went back to being Adam Wainwright.
We'll see that with Matt Harvey this year.
Right,
we'll see what happens with
I
him.
wouldn't expect him to be great or anything. Maybe something in the 3s, maybe low 4s in terms of ERA. Except, it's reasonable to expect them to be rusty. I'm not really shocked with Derrick Rose because, it might just be, really, because usually the off-season is really what gets you going for that next season to take it back to your old game.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you get through that whole, because that's where you really make the adjustments is the off-season to prepare for the next season.
Yeah, that's what happened with Michael Jordan all those years. Like every off-season he would get stronger and he would try to work on, one facet of his game that was not, up to par, and then, he turned into being the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, like with Rose, like with pitchers, even if the season was year-round, they wouldn't be getting any better as the season was going on, where they have the off-season to rest their arms again, get things back, and then they get back into the shape of things as long as they have no more elbow troubles, where with Rose it might just be he needs another offseason just to heal because he's been playing a while.
I guess so, but their window to win is closing very shortly. because Pau Gasol's only going to be good for another couple years, and
Well, that's all along he's under contract.
right, and